because Doug Doobie Hawes is all about the fun. And so I wanted to bring him on, but Doug has a lot more to him than this show. Him and I do it monthly. And first of all, he's an actor, and you can look him up in Rat Race and Daredevil, which I love, Any Given Sunday. He's also a marketing genius, and he pioneered the multi-platform marketing plans at Walmart using in-store media with retail programming. And he is the CEO of Haas Entertainment. So and that's just a few things. I'm just trying to get all the highlights, but he's a man of many hats. He's very busy. So I'm so glad you took the time out to be on the show with us, Doug.
Well, thank you, Sherry. You're always great and loving to give me such a great introduction. And Neil, it's great to meet you. I've been watching some of your, actually listened a little bit this morning. So it's great to be on the show with you also.
Yes, one of my interviews. Yeah, or who knows which one, but the one maybe live. But we appreciate you coming by. And how did this all start for you?
So it started as Sherry said. I really was a Berklee School of Music grad. Wanted to be a jazz musician my entire life, and started playing music with great bands like the Tommy Dorsey. Of course, not when Tommy was alive, but the Revamp. Did a lot of playing with Bob Hope, and then kind of progressed into some of those revamped bands like the Monkees and the Pointer Sisters. And that kind of led, through that into some drama classes and things like that, and I was able to get a little bit into film and TV. Also did some teaching. Was a school teacher and led the, I hate to say it, but or maybe I should hate to say it, but I was a band director and a drama teacher for about 4 years. I'm sure those kids would say, why are you saying hate? But it was an interesting time in my life. And then after all that, you end up having, a regular life. You get married, you have kids, and you say, "Hey, it's time to make some money and support this family." So I did a 180 with no business degree and got into business on the entertainment side as well as on the food side, and became eventually director of marketing for Kraft and Nabisco. And that allowed me to take entertainment and retail positioning. Of course, I know pretty much all the retailers out there. I always use the analogy where Doug McMillon, who runs Walmart right now, I knew him when he was a store manager when I first started out. So I've been around the block a little bit. But we started something called Retailtainment, which was basically bringing brands and intellectual properties together in store, and electrifying the stores in order to, as we said, having promotions that were aisles away versus miles away.
Got it. Okay. All right. Good, Sherry, with your question.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's great, but I remember when Doug and I first met, and I know you talked about some of the bands you played with, but we were talking about the Brady Bunch. And so you were like, "Oh yeah, I played drums with the oldest brother." And you found the picture and you sent it to me, Barry Williams, right?
With Barry Williams, yeah, that was a fun time. It was crazy. We did a lot of stuff with NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
We raised over $250,000 for lupus with the Backstreet Boys, and tied that into Walmart and into Kmart with a live giveaway to see the Backstreet Boys at SeaWorld. Um, the big claim to fame I had that most people know, and Walmart holds it up as their crown jewel of retailtainment, was Oreo stacking. So it was as simple as a card table, a bag of Oreos, and a stopwatch. And we basically had kids for 30 seconds stack Oreos. So you can imagine, what does that do? Well, after 1 year of that, I had kids and families buying Oreos and they weren't even eating them. They were using them as an event. And we tied that in with big IPs like Ken Griffey Jr., the movie Hulk, and made that bigger and bigger. And then, I know, Neil, you did a lot in the wrestling community. Worked a lot with Dwayne The Rock Johnson,
Oh, really? Oh,
and
cool.
brought him into retail. Bill Goldberg, another
Really?
great guy that we worked with, and then we brought a lot of sports stars. We had one of the, I think the best sports retail promotion ever, called Quarterbacks of the Century, where we had and this was back when we were just starting to get the internet and had the ability, to vote on things and go online. And we had Dan Marino, Johnny Unitas, John Elway, and Joe Montana. And we ran
Wow.
that for a year, and it was amazing. And then the second year, we added their favorite receivers.
So, what when you talk about specifically retail, getting the customer experience really brings the product involved. Having the event, bringing the star to the event, then right as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So whether it's a movie or whether it's a sports star or a movie star, we find the right way for brands to be able to interact. I guess one thing that Hotline Entertainment does is, a lot of people think, well, geez, I'm a small company, and how do I get involved? I see Coca-Cola, I see PepsiCo. How does Joe Blow in Jacksonville get involved? Well, there's a lot of ways, and that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on at Hotline Entertainment is that if you want to get involved with entertainment properties, you don't always have to have the big bucks and the big advertising dollars that a lot of these IPs are looking for. There's a lot of ways to tie into anniversaries of movies, like the 35th anniversary of the Breakfast Club or whatever, and you can bring that right into your hometown business. So that's where we really have found our success. And I, to be honest with you, those big ones are fun, but at my age today, I really enjoy doing the local and the small things just as much.
Okay, good, Sherry.
Yeah. So, uh, you know, Doug and I started working on trending entertainment news, and we've done it about a year now, haven't we?
We
Been about a
have.
year. Yeah, yeah. And so, I wanted you to describe that a little bit, because that's what you are part of. In fact, you do a lot of the production on it, and tell people what 10 USA is about.
Yeah, and Neil, I think you'll agree with me. There's so many, listening to a lot of your interviews, there's so many ways and directions to go. There's so much content.
Yeah.
There's so many ways that we can deliver things to our audiences. So, I got with Sherry, we kind of hit it off, and we decided to put a show together where we could, kind of scale down the menu of books, of movies, of TV shows, of concerts that are out in the marketplace. It's a little maybe Jacksonville and Florida centric because we both live there, but we're having fun, just kind of giving folks a kind of a mosaic of what's out there, and what they can do during the summer holiday months, and as well as the regular holidays, to kind of make it easier for them. And Sherry's been absolutely fabulous. I mean, she's like, I'm doing it a lot more just so I can hear her tell me what's good in books and TV. And she knows I'm religious. I'm always texting her and going, "Hey, I watched this," or I get in this book. So it's been not only fun to do, but very educational for myself.
Very good. And that was interesting how Sherry had an interview with the composer for Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. That was a lot of fun. And we get these different opportunities. Like you said, I just promoted the new Tyler Perry movie this morning.
I
And
was listening
so,
to that.
yeah. So basically, let's kind of, what do you think? I think you still have the traditional marketing route. When you define marketing, people forget your route. That's the honest truth. And I think that what we're going to see trending, I believe, is a going back to traditional marketing in person, moving forward in the rest of the 21st century. That we're going to see that online Zoom is oversaturated, and meeting face to face is going to be still such an important part of the process of promotion.
I agree, Neil. And it basically is FOMO. We all know what FOMO is, the fear of missing out, right? Is that most of the times, back on a lot of these that I did, as you said, they were more retail driven, more in store. if I'd have had all the technology that we had back then, it would just made them that much better. I don't look at it as a competing thing. In fact, I call it retailtainment and e-tailtainment, because if we combine the both of them together, the consumer gets, doubly loaded with what they want. But to your point, I think after 2 years of COVID in our communities, people are ready to get out, and people got very nostalgic. And I don't know if you know this, but while COVID was going on that first year when we were all locked up, the number two movie out in the theaters was Halloween,
Oh,
the
dear.
original John Carpenter Halloween, because they put it out in theaters and they were having a tough time getting people in theaters. But
Exactly.
but they put Halloween out there, and everybody went, I'll put a mask on and go see it.
Right. And like I said, I think that the reason is because you speak in front of 100 people, you probably will close 10 if you're a business. You go on a podcast, 100 people, you're probably maybe a possibility, maybe one. And if you go on a social media and you have eyeballs, it's 150 people, no one's going to take action at all. It's going to be a lot more of a process. You have to have a lot more of a numbers to have a conversion. And that even though I don't know where retail's going, I still believe that the events are going to come back, and it's going to be interesting with Amazon and what other things. There has to be a mixed bag of things. And I think you're right. You're right on track that if I was going like Gary Vee would say, should we get rid of traditional marketing? You mailers, go in front of people, business cards, both. We need online marketing and both, everything, because you never know who's going to see your product or service. And if you miss out on an opportunity, especially if it's a free platform, and an event can be almost free versus not the setup and everything, versus how much money you're going to spend to get the right people into your store. The bottom line is traditional marketing is not dead. It's still alive. Radio is still alive, as I'm cutting a deal with another radio station. I had a conversation today with a station in Memphis. So it's never dying. Best place people can find information on you. But let's first of all give Sherry a testimonial. What would you say about Sherry as your co-host that we can put up there? Why people need to hire her at Storehouse Media Group?
Well, first of all, she's just very knowledgeable about her vertical. I mean, when it comes to books and it comes to passion around what she does, I have found nobody more passionate about writing books and just her I guess in the medical industry, you would call it bedside manner, but the way that she is with her clients, everyone that we've interviewed that's come on, you can tell is totally been educated by her. She's held their hand through the whole process. And I think when you're new to that, writing a book, you need a lot of hand holding, and nobody better in the business than Sherry Price Clark.
Wonderful. Best place we can find info on you. Where can we go? Great.
You can go to my website, www.hostlineent.com. I'm on Facebook personally, as well as Hostline Entertainment. So friend me, come on. And I have my own show under Hostline on YouTube, where I've interviewed quite a number like you, quite a number of actors, quite a number of business people. Let's all just keep the ball rolling. We all got a good thing going here, and I think we're educating audiences, and more importantly, I think what we're doing is a lot of fun. I know Absolutely. We're all having fun doing it.
Absolutely love it. All right. Again, go to storehousemediagroup.com right now and take your idea all the way to the movies. Appreciate it, guys. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show in the Storehouse.